When you backup data in Azure, it's your responsibility to protect those backups from cyber threats, accidental deletions, and compliance risk. If attacker gain access to your backups or if they get corrupted, you could lose critical data or face business disruptions. That's why you need to implement multiple security controls to keep your backups safe, recoverable, and compliant. Let's unpack the control to secure access to your backups. You need to restrict access to backups so that only authorized users can modify, delete, or restore them. In this case, you should use Azure role-based access control. Assign least privileged roles like a backup operator and ensure that only specific people can manage backups. You should enable multi-factor authentication for the backup data. These add an extra layer of security. So even if someone steals login credentials, they still need another factor to access backups. And you should use private endpoints. Means block public access to backup services by restricting them to your private networks. Even if someone gets unauthorized access to your backups, encryption will ensure they can't read the data. You can secure your backups by enabling encryption at rest. Azure Backup automatically encrypts your backups with AES 256 encryption. You can secure backups by using customer managed keys. Instead of relying on Microsoft default encryption, you can store your own encryption keys in Azure Key Vault for greater control. And you can secure your backups by encrypting data in transit. Ensure backups are transferred over secure TLS 1.2 connections to prevent interception. You need to ensure that no one can delete your backups, even by mistake or through a cyber attack. You can do this by enabling soft delete. If someone deletes a backup, Azure keeps it for 14 days, which allow you to recover it within that 14 days time period. You can also do this by using immutable vaults. Immutable vaults prevents anyone from modifying or deleting backups for a fixed period. And you can do this by applying Azure resource locks. By adding a cannot delete lock on your backup vault, you prevent unauthorized deletions. Ransomware attacks often target backups first, so you can't restore your data. To prevent this, you should enable multi-factor authentication on backup data. Means require an additional approval workflow before allowing any backup deletion. You should monitor backup activity. You can use Azure Monitor and Microsoft Defender for Cloud to detect suspicious backup actions like unexpected deletions. And you should keep an offline or air-gapped backup. Plan to store backups outside of Azure or in isolated networks to ensure recovery even in case of a total compromise for your sensitive workload. If you operate in a regulated industry, you must prove that your backups meet legal and security standards. You can achieve this by using Azure policy for compliance. In this case, you enforce backup retention policies that align with GDPR, HIPAA, ISO 27001 and other regulatory requirements. You can achieve this by auditing backup access and operations. In this case, you can use Azure Monitor logs to track who accessed or modified your backups. And you can achieve this by performing regular backup restoration tests. In this case, you make sure you can actually restore your backups by conducting routine recovery drills. Bottom line, you should secure access with RBAC, MAP, and private endpoints to your backup data. You should encrypt backups at rest and in transit to prevent unauthorized access. You should protect backups from deletion using soft delete, immutable vaults, and resource locks. You should defend against ransomware with multi-user authentication and continuous monitoring. And you should ensure compliance with Azure policy, audits, and restoration tests. By applying these security controls, you make sure your backups remain protected, recoverable, and resistant to cyber threats.